to acknowledge the Khmer people of Gulf Province, and I want to also acknowledge the pioneer missionaries and matriarchs and patriarchs of our country. We are here because of how they have led us and of how they have raised us. So I want to pay this special tribute to our elders, both matriarchs and patriarchs of our country. Now, thank you, one talk for the prayer. I'll go straight because I have limited time. Now, if you look at the screen, the picture itself is worth 600 kina. The artist is from a little village called Tirokave, and I want to also acknowledge the artist. I have to tell him to paint this word Sindaun. And because his rate is very high, even though he's my in-law, he charged me 600 kina. But it's okay. So I have to capture the idea of Sindaun. So this is the painting by our artist. It's original. So I did not post anything yet on the screen. On the air, sorry, internet. So you can download this photo yet. Okay. Now, when we talk about research, this is the basic anatomy of research. Basic components of research. The basic skeleton of research. So, you want to do a research, two things. One, in any research, you have to come up with an unanswered question. If there are people asking question and there is no answer, that is an indication that you must do research on that one. If there is an unanswered question. Number two, if there is a need, if you see a need, this is the time to do research so that you will address the need. And number two, you will answer the unanswered questions. Look around you and think, there is a need in my community, number one. Number two, there is an unanswered question in our society. Now, this is the good opportunity to do research on those. These are two indicators to help you do research. Okay. You know, can work research nothing. You do research if there is a need and do research if there is an unanswered question. So you come up with your own topic. Number two, after you've identified a need and an unanswered question, you go and read. They call it literature review. You read about other researchers who have also done research on that particular or anything that comes close to that need or comes close to that unanswered question. Read around that area. Okay, don't just go read anyhow. You just specifically, strategically read around your interest area of topic that you're trying to address. And then there's this another thing called research methodology. This is where my presentation will come in. Okay, you will follow a research methodology. You don't do research anyhow. There is a method you will follow. So after you finish your undergraduate and you want to do your postgraduate, we have, I also acknowledge some of our master students who are among us, two of them. Thank you for joining us. I told them that I'm working on a paper and this is the first time they will also hear this too. Okay, so you will follow a certain method. It's in all research there is a method that you will follow. There are methods that you will follow. And then you will collect the data. Now, remember, in research, data is the information that you will go and collect. Okay. You will prepare your set of questions. Based on your topic, you will go and collect the data. But in research, data comes in two forms. Number one, remember, this literature that you are reading, this data in the literature, in the book, this data that you will collect is the raw data that is in the field that you'll go and collect. Okay. Now, these are both of them are data. One in the books, you read about it. One in the field that you'll go and collect. And then after collecting those data, you come up with your results and you'll analyze them and make your conclusion and discuss. That's the overview of the anatomy of the research, the basic overview. Okay. Now, in the literature, how you will collect your data is very important. We call it, there are three different ways of collecting the data, or three different approaches. One is called qualitative research. In qualitative research, social science, they do interviews, open-ended questions. They, basically interviews. You'll do interviews in qualitative. And then you come to quantitative. Quantitative, you don't do interviews. You want to collect your data, you do survey instrument. You go prepare a questionnaire. They fill, and you collect the paper back. That's called quantitative. Okay. And then some, they do both of them. We call it mixed method. Okay, for Dr. Imona and Dr. Mamarimbing, theirs is, it falls under this area. Historical, theological, theoretical. They don't go out and collect data, field data. They collect the data in the what? In the books. Okay, so theirs falls under this group. Okay, so basically with that background, I'll just go straight now. Okay. In the Pacific, we have your one talks in the Pacific Island. They have written about their indigenous ways of doing research and collecting data. From what I've told you, these are the ways that is in the textbook written by scholars, but they are not from Pacific Island. But this is a standard textbook. You follow that step by step, and you'll collect your data or do your research. But we have Pacific Islanders, they come up with the indigenous ways of collecting the data. Now, we have so many, but I've just summarized only. We have the Ula from Samoa, Talanoa, Tonga, Vanua, Fiji, and Solomon Island, we have someone, Kabini Sangha. He is, I think, residing in Indonesia, New Zealand. He writes about this method called the talk story method. Okay. Talk story method. So PNG, we also do a lot of talk stories. So most of our researchers and some of our master students, including for those of you who were here when Dr. Hannah Steven was here, she also used that method, the talk story method. Dr. Salo, you have to manage my time because when I talk and continue talking. Okay, so basically, I won't give you I'll just lift the lid and you just smell the pot only and I'll close it back. I can't give everything. So I'll just tell you the Melanesian way of storytelling, Melanesian way of behaving, Melanesian way of thinking, and I won't go to the Melanesian elders' dream about life. The highest dream of a Melanesian elder is called good Sindaun. That's the highest dream in fact, all the anthropologists, they come up and discover that this is the highest value in Melanesia, good Pele Sindaun. It's not close to biblical Salom. It's not synonymous with biblical Salom, but it has the same meaning like biblical Salom. Not equivalent, but same meaning. The presence of all the positives and the absence of all the what? Negative. So if you are sick, you will try your very best to do anything so you can experience good Pele Sindaun. So that's the elder's dream man for his village. The elder's intent. Okay. Now, so let me begin now with the Melanesian way of life first. We have one of our founding fathers, and also he is one of our best Speaker of Parliament, Bernard Narakobi, coined this word Melanesian way of life. In fact, there's a book written about it. Now, let me capture it and just put it in. This is our way of life, Melanesian way of life. Okay. Right in the center is you and I. And our elders are very, very important. Our ancestors are very important. You cannot separate them in a typical Melanesian way of life. You do away with the ancestors, you do away with anything that connects to the land too. So it carries all our history. And then we are connected to what? Animate spirit and what? Inanimate spirit. We call it in Tok Pidgin, spirit igat crew na spirit nogatwane. Crew, brain and brainless spirit. One, you become their vehicle and you transport them around. One, they are territorial. They have their brain. They look after a certain area. Okay. Example. If there is someone carrying an oil and it's in the boys' dormitory and carrying an oil, to use the oil for some other reasons, you are what? Carrying a brainless spirit and trying to transport that spirit around. So those things are very important in us. And then land, sacred sites, some cultures, they still use pigs, women, food. And all these are connected. I won't have time to explain all of them. But let me summarize now. If you look at this, you just look at the outer layer. The outer layer of our way of life is actually our life cycle. From birth to death, we go through this process. And then we come and we die. Even when you die, or even a baby is born, the baby sometimes is given name of the ancestors. So basically, that's our life cycle. So, Pastor, how? Let me pause. If someone dies in the community, and if you are a pastor and someone dies in the community, what happens? You go and ring the bell, like in May River. I went and rang the bell and no one came to attend the worship. Why? Why? One person died in the village, all the market stopped, all the lotto stopped, everything stopped. So if you are ignorant and going and ringing the bell, you don't understand the way of life. If one web is affected, the entire web feels the vibration. That's our way of life. So that's how we live. So with that way of life, you are trying to do research. Okay, now, way of thinking, how we think. Now, Joshua Daimo is from Indonesia, is our one skin, one talk just across the border. I happen to be able to preach in his church. He's a Baptist pastor. And he is our in-law. He got married to someone from Baya River, Western Islands. Okay. He's a Dr. Joshua Daimo. He's also a Melanesian. And this is how he summarized our way of thinking. Okay. This is how you and I think. We don't think analytical. We think what? Synthetic. We don't think, we think from known to the unknown. And when we think what? Community-oriented rather than what? Individualistic. And when we think, we are harmony conscious rather than what? Okay. I want to say this one, but I might hurt that person. So to maintain harmony, you have to think and you have to say something. Okay. So we are always community conscious. We operate from the known to the unknown. And we don't think like point 1, point 2, point 3. Sometimes you repeat the same thing over and over, and sometimes you make people become annoyed. Okay, what's your point? And then you speak your point. That's our way of thinking. Okay. Melanesian way of research. This word Sindaun, based on our way of thinking and based on our way of life, I have put down one word that captures everything. Although I want the approach by Kabini Sangha from Solomon Island, I am now proposing Sindaun as one of the method, not the method, one of the method of doing indigenous study. Our contribution to the field of research, Sindaun. Now, Sindaun is more than a word. Literally, it means, for those who are not from Papua New Guinea, Sindaun simply, literally means sit down. But this sit down carries the connotation of fellowship. It's just not, it's more than just sitting down. It carries the idea of one. Carries the idea of one. Carries the idea of what? Fellowship. Okay, if someone tells you, hey, come, now you may go sit down pastime. If someone tells you as a Melanesian, you already know it's not just going down and what? Sitting down. It's more than that. There is a fellowship happening. Come, you may go sit down pastime. So if you are walking and someone said, come, you may go sit down pastime, it means that you're going to go and eat. There is another thing coming up. There is another thing coming up, and it's more than just sitting down. So with that, I said, okay, let me use that as the way in which we will do our research, Melanesian. So you look at that. This is taken from your village, Awoma village, right at your community center. Okay. What are these people doing? Are they sitting down? Yes. But it's just sitting down for nothing? What happens during a sitting down? Come, you may sit down. There is what? Okay. Fellowship happening. You have conversations. You have what? What's this? Huh? It's just not food. In his village, they eat pepolia. You want to eat pepolia, you come to the Owen Stanley Range. It's not just pepolia. It's not just oroquin, the banana from Popondetta. It's not just fish or guarume, Central. This is symbol of relationship. Symbol of relationship. So we are sitting down and we are eating, but we are actually what? Maintaining our relationship. So that's the idea. That's the idea I took that I will capitalize on that, that word, sit down, and then do a method out of that experience. Now, Solomon Island, Kabinisanga, uses talk story. But in Sindaun, you are also doing the what? You are also doing the talk story. Sometimes in Sindaun, you may not talk. You go and sit down in house cry too. You go sit down in house cry. Yes, Sindaun also happen in house cry. Sometimes you don't talk during house cry. Okay. So I capture that as a approach I will do in my research. That means that in Sindaun, silence is a voice in our context. Silence doesn't mean you are a stupid and you are a coconut, you don't have anything in your head. No. Silence in this context simply means when you are given a space to talk, you will talk. No, God, some silence is in itself not passive but active. It all happens in a what? Sindaun. Now, you have to follow ethics when you are doing research. You have to follow ethics. You don't just go and collect data left, right, and center. You have to follow ethics. In Melanesian ethics, traditionally, it revolves around the community. According to Mantovani, whatever a person does, ideally is done for the sake of the community. So, Mantovani rightly defines ethics from a cultural perspective. What helps my community is what? Ethically good. What deprives my community is what? Ethically bad. So with that Melanesian ethics, I will take that ethics and I will also do it in my research. So that means you don't go and handpick one or two in the community and do research. You have to get a community blessing. Whatever helps the community is ethically good for me. Whatever harms the community is ethically bad for me. That's why my mother's people, even though they are church members, but when there is land dispute, what happens? Huh? Whatever is ethically good for the community, they will go and fight. So they are caught in between Christian ethics and Melanesian ethics. If I don't take part in what is good for the community, I will be displaced. Hey, Christian ethics, hey, Melanesian ethics, they are sandwiched in bit. Maybe let me go and carry the gun first. And then Friday night, they fold the gun, let's go worship first. Sunday, go back to the playground. If you just judge from the outside, that means we haven't understood the ethics. So, there's so many things involved here, but I have to do that, but translate that principle into research when we do. Now, this one is from the Kamea, and I think I will stop here, and then have moments for question, and in the course of answering your question, I might bring something out. Let me do it in Pidgin first. This is JJ. JJ is a pseudonym, nickname. He says, time you come stop one time all kamea, okay. You by come pass one time all, na bien by you save long how by you stop good one time all. You read in the book and collect the data, but when you want to collect the field data, this is what you will do. Time you come stop one time all kamea, okay. You by come pass one time all, na behind by you save good long how by you stop good one time all. Let me transliterate, not translate, transliterate. When you come to stay in kamea, you will come to stick with them. Stick with them is come pass one time. You stick with them as in glue. You stick with them. Come pass one time all. And you will know how to live well with them. From this code, let's pick up the formula, how we will do research. Come stop one time all plus 1M. Come pass one time all equals 1M. Stop good one time all. Reside with them plus what? Relate with them equals what? Staying good with them. Did you know that there are people who only come to what? Reside with them, have nothing to do with what? Relate with them, and you know what? When they collect the data, our people are not stupid. They will give you what? Huh? They will give you wrong information. It already happened in the Pacific Island. It happened in Samoa, one example, by the name of Margaret Mead. She came, discuss about the Samoans, they are like this, and you know what? The Samoans gave her the wrong information. You are only coming here to reside with us, not what? Relate with us. So Sindaun captures all this. Come stop one time plan, now come one name. Pass one time plan. But you stop good one time all. Now, Dr. Silo, I will pause here and later I'll pick up my conclusion, but I will now open up for questions. If you have any questions, please ask. Anything, any questions. If I may not be able to answer, I can deflect the questions to our colleagues here. They will be able to assist. Amas pla iplagat question or not? Or you may be able to use the word and later ask the question. I will be able to respond through the code that you have. Please feel free to write your questions.
Thank you. If you have any questions, as being said, there is a questionnaire that is sent through your WhatsApp. You can write your questions there. So if we have time, doctor can respond to your questions. But if you have some direct questions in regard to what he had presented, please you can ask. Okay, there is one hand up there. Pastor Jacob, are you raising your hand? Can you speak up, Brother Pastor? Project your voice a little bit louder.
Okay, this is an excellent question. Okay. Two things happen. If you are an insider, if you are from that place, you use the what? The mode of language that is spoken. If it is language, if it's the local vernacular, use that to conduct your interview. And then later, you will analyze the interview using that language, because you are from where? You are from that place. And then you only pick out the key quotations and you'll translate them into what? English. Bypass talk pisin straight into English, because your audience is now wider. So people from outside can read. Okay. Let me just give you a classic example. When I did mine, I did it because I'm not from Kamea, but I use talk pisin. So when I want to analyze and put down all my, try to analyze everything and write, I did it all in talk pisin. Okay, my supervisor said, don't worry, just do it all in talk pisin. So everything was done in talk pisin, and it took 1 month to just translate it to English. Okay. Why am I saying that? Because if you are doing it in the language used by them, you preserve the what? The richness and the essence, the meaning behind some of the expressions, some of the insights. You don't lose it during translation. You still keep it. Okay. So when you translate here now, Jacob, you will write the translation from the original language side and English word. Yeah, you go side by side. Yeah. That's how I did. But some, they just want to go straight into English. It's okay too. But when you do your quotations, local language go and then translated one. So you still keep the flavor. Okay, did I give you sleeping pill? Okay. Livingston. Yeah. Okay. Now, you cannot avoid research. Now, research is now, it's imperative. It's very, very important in how we do, even how do we mission and how we do our pastoral work. You must do research. It's part of your work. Now, having said that, you must follow ethics. Okay. So basically, you accept the Melanesian ethics, remember? What helps my community is ethically good. This simply means that when you're trying to do research, you must respect the gatekeepers. If there is an elder, he is the gatekeeper of the village. Goalkeeper blausle. Security blausle. You bypass an elder or the counselor or the leaders of the village, the next moment you will find yourself, you will catch the next available truck and they'll chase you out. Follow the ethics. Now, if you are a Christian, that makes it more what? Yeah, you abide by Christian principles. Okay. Now, I already told you a story, but I will, for the sake of year one, I will tell you. I went to Nathan's house, and Nathan's family, because Barbara was trying to give birth, heavily pregnant, and they invited me to pray. I went, cut the story short, they preparing the meal in the 3-bag, not plate, 3-bag. Mito tokyet na mouse warabla mi capsites ta. Go back and lo mouse. As I was cutting the stitches of the 3-bag, I was salivating as well. Cutting, it was a king's meal. Lo and behold, as I open it, Konda, that means banana, A-grade banana from Kamea country. Ibica, coconut milk, spiced ginger, including the flavor from the tree bark, with pork fillets. Melanesian ethics, food is a symbol of relationship. Christian ethics, SDAs don't eat pork. If I don't eat, I will not be part of them. So conflicting thoughts came into my mind. President Blue Union no stop. Chance food there. I have to eat. Hey, but SDAs, we don't eat pork. Impressed by the Lord, I exclaimed, let us celebrate this meal together. And I went around with my king's meal. I helped them. We will all eat together from my tree bark. So I saved them, and in the course of saving them, all the pork fillets were going, all of them. And then come to the last person, look down, no more pork fillets. I forked my konda, put my ibica, ate it, and drink the soup. Me no kai pig, me drink soup warataso. I did not eat pig or pork, I only drank the soup. That's oxymoron. That simply means I ate the pork but did not actually eat the pork. So if you are caught between your Christian ethics and Melanesian ethics, you find a way that you will still glorify God. Last question, any more minutes? We have one. Yes. Uh-huh. Okay. Come again. I didn't catch the last. Yes. Yes. It will go a big time. If you do this approach, you want to do ministry, you will basically answer their spiritual questions that they have in their mind. You will be able to answer those unanswered spiritual questions. They may not write it, but it's in their worldview, in their head. They carry it around. As we go and do that, you will be able, in your evangelistic meeting, you won't do proof text methodology. You will be able to approach it from that angle. Even in your preaching too, you can still address those deep questions that is unanswered. So it goes a long way. It will also color how you, I'm just projecting it. Okay, we haven't done it yet. For Patricia, someone by the name of Patricia says, Gustin, for over 150 years we have only used one method. And that method, even though we go from literature translation to radio to satellite downlink, only one method for over 150 years. And that method is linear logic Western proof text method. But it doesn't work in our world. After going through the 28 fundamental beliefs by proof text method, when crisis moments ticks in, they will come to you, minister, pray for us. I'm still sick. You are not ordained. Let's go and see the ordained pastor. I'm still sick. What happens next? They'll consult a scientist who has never been to medical school. Eh. Thank you. I will footnote your presentation, your question, and also make reference to it in my writing. And also, Jacob, your question too. I'll take note of that. Now I will come to the close, but let me scare you first. I'm not trying to be the devil's advocate, but have you ever wondered in cult in Papua New Guinea, the language is come, let's go and have our Sindaun. Where did they get this information from? Where did they capture this idea of Sindaun? Okay. So if the church did not address it in a way, according to Pastor Thomas Davai, our young people will go back to their traditional ways. And one of them, we have seen it in cult groups. It happens during open weekends and public holidays. We will go and have our Sindaun. Think about that. So I think the time is right for us to do it the way God wants us to do it, and may He gets the glory. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause to Dr. Unia. Dr. Unia, we would like to thank you for the presentation that you made. I assume it's a part of your doctorate. And so if you want to get a copy of the reading of his dissertation, you can request from him, so you can be able to read the full document. At this moment, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. We probably hand the certificate right now. So I'm going to invite Dr. David Silo to come to the front, and also, if I may ask, our presenter, none other but Dr. Unia Api, if you could come up to the front, and so we'll.
You can leave the camera, it's okay. You just leave it. You don't need to touch the camera, yeah? So, maybe I'd like to thank Dr. Unia for that presentation. I think it was towards the end of last year when I went to the resource room. I saw a paper lying on the table. I was tempted to take that and then study that, but I said, no, I need to wait for the right time for the right person to unpack it. And it was Dr. Unia's paper that he presented, very interesting. How do we do research? How do you understand the Bible in a kind of, how do you approach that, you know? So thank you so much, Dr. Unia, for sharing with us the wealth of the research that you have done in this area. And I have been kind of very, very impressed with what you come up. And it is our prayer that you'll continue to develop, and then others will build on what you, on the foundation that you are laying here. Thank you so much. Would like to present this certificate. It's a recognition that Dr. Unia has presented a paper entitled Sindaun Towards a Melanesian Indigenous Research Methodology. And this is signed by Colloquium Coordinator and H.O.D. Of Theology Department. Thank you so much.
In my culture, we don't say thank you. We do the thank you. So you wait until the journal is published and you'll access the material there. That is my thank you.
Thank you. Just a few announcements before we close. We close with a word of prayer. For our next week colloquium, will be presented by Dr. Ronald Mamaringbing on the topic John Wesley, God's Law and Sabbath. So let's make the time for this next week as we come to probably learn more from our presenters. Pa imi pasim lo here, imi pasimai na imi mekwan lo pray. Our Father, Lord, which art in heaven, we want to thank you. Today we have acquired very insightful information about research methodology, long passing Sindaun, lo bless. And as Melanesians, we have seen the value of what our forefathers have been practicing, and recognizing the essential effectiveness of it, and being challenged when Doctor presented the conclusion, and he challenged us that if we are not careful, making passing Sindaun lo bless, the devil will capture the opportunity and will impart its influence, or her influence, or his influence to our younger people. Help us to be prompt in our discipleship making so we can be able to reach our young people in church. Lo good bless you down. Lo bless. May you dismiss us now but not from your presence. As we go out from here, a few of our colleagues will be traveling. Every one of you, of us, we make out one blood good blood day.